And there is a school of thought now, James, that says none of this is real.
Well,
and we are in it.
Elon Musk said 99.9% chance that this is a simulation.
Yeah.
If he says it,
it's got to be true.
He's probably created it. They got their finger in every pie, which I think is one of their films as well.
That's a good name for a film.
Finger in every pie.
Finger in every pie.
I think that's on Pornhub. It's not kids film at all.
It's time to adjust those shoulder pads, backcomb what's left of your hair, and jump into the DeLorean for a look back at what's possibly the best decade anyone could ever have grown up in.
Shall we play a game?
This is Bring Back the 80s with your hosts James Alderson and me, Andy Jackson.
Welcome back to another episode of the Bring Back the 80s podcast.
Hello.
James Alderson in the TV corner.
Yep, with my lady massaging my head.
Me, Andy Jackson here. We're still on the theme of movies.
Well, yeah, and kids ones.
Kids movies.
Well, I think it's fair to say that most people listening to this were kids in the 80s. Even if they were in the late teens, the movies that they frequented would have been at most grown up, something like Crocodile Dundee or something like that, which is probably I got turned away from when I was a kid.
Did you?
I was 14. It was when Haven had a cinema, and I was going with my mum and dad, and I was basically this height. I was 5'11" pretty much when I was 14, and I went in with my mum and dad, and they asked for ID for me, and we walked out, and there were some boys on BMXs outside the cinema, and I went, "What's happened?" And then my mum went, "Oh, we got turned away because he didn't have any ID." "How old is he then?" 14. "Oh, Jesus, fucking hell." And I they were across with the cinema on my behalf. And it was the tiniest of cinemas. You probably don't remember it, haven't, but it was it had a 2-story, and the ground floor maybe had 100 seats, and upstairs had about 60 seats. It was a tiny little single width cinema. Gone now, of course. But yeah, Crocodile Dundee was the first 15 I tried to get into because I think she either gets naked or very, very close to naked.
It's like topless or something.
Yeah. And I think there's some swearing because he's Australian, of course.
Isn't it weird though that they were still checking ID when you could go to the video shop and just take anything out, or somebody could on your behalf? And you would watch it at home.
Well, at 14, a lot of people were getting sent to get fags for their mum.
Yes.
Or 8 or 6.
Yeah.
In the 80s, so
just as long as you had a little note from your mum or dad saying, please, buy
10 Marlboro.
Yeah, 10 whatever. Yeah. And it was not a big deal at all.
No, and it was a surprise, but maybe they'd had a bit of trouble over the years with lots of kids and getting in a bit of problems with the old licensing in the council, so they were being particularly stern. But the fact that I was with my mum and dad was a bit galling and embarrassing.
That is a bit strange, isn't it, as well? Because if you could understand if you were on your own, they might have been a little bit picky.
Just a group of lads wandering in. But yeah, so I think 80s was all about kids movies, and I think most people listening to this now, the kids movies are going to strike a chord more than any of the others. Genre we've covered.
Indeed so. Speaking of things striking a chord, we've got a little reminder of the mystery sound that is ongoing at the moment. Does this strike a chord with you as well?
It's the mystery sound of the 80s. It's the mystery sound of the 80s.
Always makes me think of that song, Wordy Rapping Hood.
What's that?
Yes. Do you not know that song?
No, I probably would if it was played to me.
It's got stuff in it.
It's got beep
at the beginning. Got a very similar thing to that.
I see.
So there we go.
Okay.
So if you know what that is, if I haven't already completely given it away, let us know on the socials. If you comment on the YouTubes, let us know who you are, where you are, and we will pick a winner in about one episode's time.
Okay, great.
And it's a lovely Bring Back the 80s t-shirt to be won, or tickets to any of James's comedy gigs across the south.
Across the world, yeah.
Yes, anywhere. We'll fly you first class there as well if you happen to be one of our American watchers.
Bring you over on a milk float. Electric one. Recycling the glass
We
bottles.
just disclaim that, by the way, because I know America can be quite a litigious place.
Oh.
We will not fly you over.
No.
And we will not bring you over on a milk float.
No.
It was just humour.
Provide your own milk float.
Yes. Right, so we continue with our movies.
Yeah, go on.
We're going to do, so obviously we know it's a kids' movie.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you the description that comes up. Tell me what the movie is, if you will, please, James.
Okay.
A computer hacker is abducted into the digital world and forced to participate in gladiatorial games where his only chance of escape is with the help of a heroic security program.
Oh, so I think I was a big fan of this film, but I think that is Tron. It might not be, but it could be.
Let's find out, James. See if you're right with your guess.
Okay.
It's the ultimate soldier.
Oh,
Get happy, it doesn't get sad,
Oh,
it doesn't laugh at
brilliant.
your jokes.
It is quite simply the most sophisticated robot on Earth.
At Nova Robotics, the future is in good hands.
You're doing real good. Just keep working on those last 2 bars.
Thanks to Dr. Newton Crosby.
Originally, I designed it as a marital aid.
But artificial intelligence has gotten too smart.
Oh, right.
It's malfunctioning. It might not do anything.
But it could decide to blow away anything that moves, couldn't it?
Because $11 million worth of robot just hit the road.
Wow!
Number 5 is alive.
Welcome to my planet.
Hang about. Is that what was the word in?
Yeah. Do you know what I think I've done?
Have I done it? Have I guessed the right one? Can we keep this in, please? Show me the working conditions that I've got to put up with. Your face then, you're like, hang about.
Hang on
what?
a minute. Let me give you the correct description.
Oh, go on then.
I'll give you the So here is the description of the movie that's coming up.
Yes.
Somewhere in the 80s.
Yep.
Number 5 of a group of experimental robots in a lab is electrocuted, suddenly becomes intelligent and escapes.
What could it be?
What could it be?
Oh my goodness. Well, I think I know this.
What do you think it could be, James?
Is it?
It's not Tron.
Johnny 25 is alive. Is it Short Circuit?
It could well
It's a
be.
good choice.
Yes.
Short Circuit. I've forgotten about it. Yeah. Disassemble. No, Johnny Disassemble. That really upset my eldest son when we watched it back in 2000s.
Yeah.
When he gets taken apart. I think that might be Short Circuit 2, and put back together as a gold version or something. But yeah, Short Circuit. Yeah, great.
Good
Again.
movie. Starring,
Yep.
yes,
Well, it was a guy from Police Academy, wasn't it?
Steve Guttenberg.
I think there was a couple of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
The nasty guy was the nasty guy in Police Academy, the sergeant, and then the guy who was with Johnny number 5 was one of the
One of the other
recruits.
ones, yeah. Would you care to hazard a guess at the year?
Oh dear. 85.
86. Good
Okay,
guess.
yeah.
Very close. Very close.
I think it's, again, as like we keep saying, actual proper puppetry and designed of props.
Yeah.
There's nothing computer generated there at all. It was the start. That era was the start of computer generated. They started putting little computery things in and over the screens and stuff like in Alien and Terminator. But there, nothing. Great, brilliant.
I think it adds a certain sort of character to the movies as well when it's done like that.
Yeah. Well, they realised that, I think, in Star Wars, because the original Star Wars film's brilliant. And then the middle phase, certainly in the 90s and early 2000s, it all started getting a bit shit when they tried to do computer generated. Like, oh, no. And now, of course, all these episodes and series that they're doing for Star Wars, right back to puppetry again.
Yeah.
A lot of puppetry in there because people believe it more. Because computer generated, you sort of even now can go.
It's almost you can see it.
I think it is.
Yeah, but you just why is it that we can't see the strings and the the poles and things on the puppets? Why is it we can't?
Well, they're very clever.
Very clever people. Very clever people.
Yeah.
But yes, we've got another one coming up. And did you want another one for perhaps a slightly younger viewer?
Yes, please.
Here we go. This is you might get this again by the description here, but you're welcome to guess. It's a mermaid princess. And now this is interesting as well, right? So this is the thing that comes up on the description, right?
Yeah.
And I'm saying even I'm not entirely sure what this word means. A mermaid princess makes a Faustian bargain in an attempt to become human and win a prince's love. I mean,
Isn't he? That's a philosophical sort of reference, isn't it?
Isn't that a bit highfalutin for a
kid.
movie description, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it just?
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if that would be something that you would read and think, oh, I'm going to watch this as a kid. Hello, throwing a bit of a troublesome choice there for a mermaid, bless her. But yeah, I mean, obviously Disney have always done great cartoons since the year dot, since our grandparents were alive. But this was a sort of new batch, really, which then started with went off with Beauty and the Beast, and obviously a few other little bits, but Little Mermaid, I think, is what you're referencing to.
Should we find out, James?
Yes, please.
See if I got the right clip lined up this time around. You never know with me.
Look at you. There's something different.
She's got legs, you idiot. Relive the timeless classic with Flounder, Sebastian, King Triton, Ursula the Sea Witch, Prince Eric, and of course, Ariel.
Oh my gosh.
Sing with me now.
There we go.
I mean, and again, soundtracks were absolutely key to that. Under the Sea. Yeah, obviously some cliched foreign accents in there, which they always like to do. But, the late 80s, I think that was late 80s, wasn't it? 89?
That 89. Was exactly 1989, James. Well done.
So it just tipped into our little decade. But then in the 90s, it really exploded. Went a bit quiet. And then in the late 2000s, it really started off again with a lot more sort of animated Disney stuff. So, yeah, that was nice. But so many massive hits. Huge hit songs in that film,
definitely. And I remember again with these ones as well. All that is hand drawn. Yeah. Again, it's all just done by the men with their tiny toothpastes or the women with their tiny tooth
on laminate.
Yeah.
It's like a laminate sheets, wasn't it? And overlay
frame by frame.
Yeah. It must have taken years to do. A bit like the Aardman
animation,
plastic things, and they're bringing out a new one of those. Apparently,
somebody very cleverly on YouTube has discovered that a lot of the the movements that they did in the Disney films, they were like a template that they would do.
Oh yes,
and you can actually match up different. I think the Jungle Book was one of them, and it was exactly the same as Winnie the Pooh. And they just did the same stuff with just with just different characters. But we never realised at the time.
I don't think we cared.
No.
I mean, you could have done, if you told us that, we wouldn't be like, well, I'm not watching that. Whatever it was it Robin Hood was one of the ones as well that they did. That's a 70s one, I think, 60s, 70s. But even with things like Mary Poppins, where they had a lot of kind of cartoons and animated bits, they were stolen from different things, and Jungle Book, as you say. So but you can understand why. Because there's so many bloody days and days of work put in. And I wonder if it was understood at the time. I wonder if one of the animators out the back going, I'm just fucking using this slide again. I'm not fucking doing that. Bollocks. Another kid climbing a tree. I'm going to use the same one. Thank you very much. Give me a different coloured hat.
I suppose it's the equivalent of like before it was a thing of copying and pasting, wasn't it? Copy paste.
Yeah.
You're just copying and pasting it from one thing into a copy and painting. Yes. From one thing to another.
Yeah. It was literally Control C, Control V. But with a bit of talent. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So great graphics, great
songs,
animation. Great
this
songs.
is the thing with Disney as well was, with their movies, they never really came up with their own ideas, did they? It was all just fairy tales, retold in a way, and then. Sadly, rightly or wrongly, you always remember the Disney version of that fairy tale. You don't remember the traditional version.
No.
And it's become kind of owned by Disney, who then milk it for every single cent they can get out of every tiny bit of merchandise.
They control the world now, of course.
They do control the world.
Basically, anything you see to do with kids' films, more often than not, is the Disney dollar.
Yeah, 100%.
Bastards.
It's because don't they own Pixar as well? And
Star Wars,
everything. They own everything.
And Costa Coffee.
Yeah.
I don't know what they do, but they probably own that as well. But yeah, they've got their finger in every pie, which I think is one of their films as well.
That's a good name for a film.
Finger in every pie.
Finger in every pie.
I think that's on Pornhub. It's one of the kids, not kids film at all. I'm going to download that later. Oh dear. She was pretty. Has Ariel in that one as well.
Fantastic.
Bless her.
Good stuff.
Okay.
Good stuff. I'll tell you what, James, it's time for this, I think, now.
Okay.
Here we
What
go.
have we got?
Here we go.
James's special lunchbox surprise.
Now, obviously, this is everything we've referenced is always kids in the lunchbox because we've got, because it's kids' food, kids' snacks, kids' treats. But this is particularly particularly kid-like, these ones. So if you crack it open and spread it nice and wide, so that we can have a little look inside.
Oh.
And I think these really are, as a kid, this is what you love to have, but I don't think really we like to eat it.
This is just in case you're one of the few that's still just listening rather than watching.
Yeah.
These are little bracelets. Am I allowed to open this, James? Okay. These are little bracelets. Here we
You
go.
don't have the strength to
Here
open.
we go. Hang on.
Ooh. Ow.
These are the ones. Okay, right. Little bracelet for you, James.
Thank you.
A little bracelet for me.
Oh, they're very baggy. I don't remember them being quite as
Yeah,
big.
maybe you fold them around twice or something.
Yeah,
There we
that's
go.
probably it.
That's
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
look at that. Look.
And they're watches, these ones.
Oh,
but you
yeah.
can get them with all sorts, but you'd wear it like at all sorts. That's not the sweet. But these are the candy bracelets. They got the solid, you can hear them on them.
A little bit of elastic.
They smell nice. But you see, I never really like these dry things. I like the dry, you remember the lollies on a stick? You still get them. They're very
I'm gonna
dry.
Take a bite. I'm going in.
Okay. Is that how you do it?
That is how you do it.
Yes, of course it is. Very chalky.
They're always chalky.
But there's no flavour in that, is there?
Bit of lemonish.
You see, when I was a kid, I could chew it off, be fine. Now, I take a mouthful of arm hair at the same time.
Oh,
It's
nasty.
not as nice at all.
These actually taste of glucose tablets to me.
Yeah, they do.
And one of the main ingredients is glucose. So chalky glucose, if you need but with a hint of lemon.
Yeah, I do remember them being stronger flavour than that. Oh.
I know you said we never didn't like them. They are very slightly addictive, though.
It's a bit like having a Rennie, isn't it? All the yellows are nice.
They're lemony, aren't
Hang
they?
about.
Yeah.
Let's try a pink one. See if that's got a strawberry. Oh, it took a tooth out. I guess they make a claim on my health insurance.
They're actually not bad. Chalky, but flavoursome.
The yellow ones are very nice. The others, not so sure. Is this wristwatch going to have a?
Is it flavoured?
Oh, no. So the yellow ones on these are lemony, but then the actual yellow wrist thing isn't.
Just tastes of nothing.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. You take a couple of them when you've got digestion problems.
Yes.
Settle you down nicely, wouldn't it?
Well, absolutely.
At our age. So
to be honest, anything that we can take to settle us down.
Bit of Gaviscon. I'll have a little sleep.
I'm going to give that a solid. You've broken another
I
two.
thought I'd just take a lots of filling.
I'm going to give that a 6 out of 10. That's not bad, James. That was a good surprise.
I honestly didn't used to like these, but that isn't bad. And as you say, quite addictive.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about the eating noises, everybody, but yeah. You can't get them really in shops. You can get them in the odd sweet shop, one of the traditional ones, but online.
I was going to say there are places that just specialise in the 80s sweets and things like that. So yeah, this is good. I'm liking it very much. Yeah,
That's good,
very good. Well, good little find, James.
Thank you.
Good little find.
Yeah, a bit of a throwback there. Nice.
Ready for our final clip?
Go on then, please.
Of the episode, right?
Yeah.
See if you can work out what this is.
Okay.
A computer hacker.
Oh.
Is abducted into the digital world and forced to participate in gladiatorial games where his only chance of escape is with the help of a heroic security program.
Is it Short Circuit?
Can you guess what it could be?
Yeah, now I do know what this is, and I, be honest, when I watched it, I didn't have a clue what was going on. I've watched it since, and I'm still not sure I know what's going on in it. It's Tron, isn't it?
It is Tron, indeed. Just look at the beautifulness of the artwork in this, though.
It is nice. Oh, okay.
The NCOM 511 computer. Center of the most calculating intelligence on Earth. Within it, there exists an unknown civilization where man has never been. A startling new world where time and distance defy the laws of logic.
I still do not understand why you want to break into the system?
Because, man, somewhere in one of these memories is the evidence.
Kevin Flynn, computer genius, searching for answers inside the system.
Hey, it's the big master control program everybody's been talking about.
Stop! I'm warning you. I'm gonna have to put you on the game grid.
Propelled into the digital world of the computer itself.
Oh man, this isn't happening. It only thinks it's happening.
How good was that?
I mean, it's pretty. It sits in the same one as Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Really, it's a sort of a start of properly convincing merging two worlds. You know,
but all done completely analog. There's no digital stuff going on.
Oh well, I think there was quite a lot of computer generated, but they'd start. You know, it wasn't not in the sense of these days. You know, there was a lot of that was the start, I think, really, of experimental graphics and trying different things.
1982. That was
it really?
Right at the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, it's
right at the beginning.
Iconic film, and obviously Jeff Bridges, wasn't it? I mean, they did a new one, didn't they? Where he was in it, and then they morphed his face so that he looked young again, and it was all right, but nothing like that. But I really didn't understand what was going on. But maybe it's because I was only like 7 or 8 years old, just watching everything, and well, it's impressive. I'm loving the graphics, loving the motorbikes, I'm loving all these weird things. I don't know what's going on in it.
Not a clue. No. Absolutely, I'm exactly the same as well. But it was just so nicely drawn, painted, whatever they do.
Yeah.
And it was like it had a real sort of stylistic feel to it, didn't it?
Yeah. Just and it was really sort of scary as a kid to watch, thinking, well, this could happen to me when I'm playing computer games, you know, and I'm playing in the arcades, because they had a Tron arcade as well at the arcade, you know, places, and scary. Yeah, I think they even had a bike later on, a Tron bike. Where you could do Tron races and things. But yeah, very scary, but very well done. Very well done.
Considering it was like so long ago, 1982.
I had no idea it was 82.
Yeah, 82 when it came out.
Yeah, and he was just those suits, those outfits. They didn't merch much on it.
I was just about to say, I don't remember merchandise from that movie.
There are a few little bits available, but very niche. And obviously, you got to remember that when they're making Tron, probably late 70s was being made, really hadn't hit the heights of an exposure that we saw with Star Wars, which really made filmmakers realise how much merch they could do. So I think Tron were probably caught on the hop a little bit, brought the film out and thought, oh shit, we haven't done any merch. Look at Star Wars, they've done all this.
We should have had a Tron bike, shouldn't we, to go with?
I wonder if they did, maybe, but they did a few bits, but I reckon it was just all rushed out, because by the time that it came out of the cinema, they'd been working so hard for a few years to do the film, they hadn't even thought about it, and they saw George Lucas doing it. Thought, oh bollocks!
We should have had that. We should have jumped on that gravy train.
Should have done Tron 2. Maybe they did. I don't know. Not in the 80s, they didn't. But I haven't got anything from there. Mostly because whenever I look at Tron, I get confused. What's happening? Why is he doing this?
Thing is, though, it's ahead of its time, because it's like basically saying that, you know, we're in the computer, aren't we? We are computer memory, and there is a school of thought now, James, that says none of this is real.
Well,
and we are in it.
Elon Musk said 99.9% chance that this is a simulation.
Yeah.
If he says it,
it's got to be true.
He's probably created it. We're in his simulation, probably. He looks a little bit like Jeff Bridges. But no, so I think it's, that used to be thought of as a bit batshit crazy back in the 80s, 90s, 2000s to think that this is all made up. And the school of thought is building that maybe this is. But I don't care, really, because I'm sat here with you, Andy, having a bloody good time. And even if we are plugged into the matrix at the back of our heads, it doesn't matter, because we're having fun whilst we're here.
We do our very best, don't we? Speaking of having fun, by the way, we mentioned this for the first time in the last episode. I think you will. The social media posts will have appeared by now. We are taking this show on the road, aren't we?
Yeah, we're doing
one special
for Christmas.
Yes,
because we love Christmas. I love sitting on people's knees and giving them a free gift. So that's what Christmas is all about, and that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to always sit on people's knees. People can sit on.
People can come if you want to come and sit up on our knees. You are more than welcome.
They have to sign the disclaimer,
obviously.
But yes, I'll give them a big tube of Smarties. I promise. And so yeah, that's what we're doing at Havant Spring Arts. We're doing it at Christmas, and we're going to do a festive Christmas 80s special live recording with a few extra little bits thrown in. But it'll basically be what you watch here hear us sat having a chinwag, showing some clips and music and videos and bits and bobs and silliness, and reasonably priced.
Reasonably priced. We make it affordable now. We are no longer under the yoke of the Tory overlords.
No, we were going to charge 40 quid a ticket, weren't we? But when they got kicked out, we thought, about 11 quid.
10 or 11 quid, whatever. Yeah. Latest price will appear as if by magic on the social media posts.
Yes.
Now, but if you fancy a bit of fun, a bit about hour and a half or so of nonsense at Spring Arts in Havant.
Yeah.
And at the beginning of December.
Yeah, I think
just get
so.
you in the festive mood.
I think everybody wants something a bit different at Christmas. You don't want to just go to a bloody carol service, a kid's nativity play, go and watch a film, go around your auntie's house. This is a nice evening out, probably midweek, locally, just to be able to go and enjoy a bit of 80s, a bit of Christmas.
Lovely. And on that happy note, that happy thought, we'll say hopefully we'll see you there in person when we do this in December. If we don't see you there in person, we will see you again virtually for episode 22 coming up next week of the Bring Back the 80s podcasts. It's our last in the series of movies as well. More kids movies to come. Have we saved the best till last is the question.
I hope so, because there's a few missing.
Until then, we will see you next Tuesday.
Thanks for listening to this week's edition. We'd love it if you could subscribe in your favourite podcast app, and don't forget there's a video version on YouTube too. You can contact us using the links in the show notes and on the YouTube channel, and we'll see you next time for another edition of Bring Back the 80s.